Hey everyone, welcome back to another video. In today's video I'd like to update you guys on some new queens and colonies that I have, and just some general progress that my long-time colonies have. First off, you can see here is my Colobopsis gasseri colony. We've had some really interesting progress lately. You might notice a large amount of very large ants in the colony there, even some with wings. You can see those winged ones are elates, or new queens that are ready to go off and fly and make new colonies. This is actually fairly strange because this colony is only around, I'd guess, 15 to 20 workers. And usually a colony is like thousands of workers before they have elates. But yeah, I guess this species might just not grow that big. You can see the queen, the actual queen of this colony, who has already mated and founded all these workers, is to the most right hand side. She doesn't have any wings. She's taken them off a long time ago. In one of the last videos, I predicted that those large pupae might turn into elates or majors, and actually I was right both ways, because we have majors as well. They look extremely similar to the queens. You can see right in the middle there's one with no wings, and you can see her butt or her gaster is really large and swollen. That's actually a major. That's not even a queen. This species is known for their really large majors, and I finally have my first ones of this colony. I apologise for the bad quality of the picture. It's really they're really stubborn of moving out of that crappy plastic test tube, so hopefully one day they'll move into the glass one. Actually, and while this colony is out, I'd like to show you guys another similar queen. So here is this other similar looking queen. I'm not 100% sure on the species. From the shape of the head, I'd guess Colobopsis, just like the last colony. But it's not the same. The gaster is a bit different shape, and the coloration on the head is different, and she doesn't quite have the really flat head that Colobopsis used to plug the entrance of their nests. So I'm kind of stumped on this one. I'm sure I'll come across the species, the correct species ID one day, but for now I'll just wait for her to have workers, and then maybe I'll attempt trying to ID it. Okay, moving on to something more large. Here is the infamous Myrmecia piriformis. I would say probably the most common enchant that everyone would be finding. And if she moves, you'll be able to see her pupae. There it is. In, I would say, probably just a few days or maybe a couple weeks, that will turn into her first worker. So that's pretty exciting. I've never had a large species of Myrmecia have workers. You can see she's taking a look outside, foraging. Actually, I'll give her some honey. Just a little bit of honey on some baking paper. There we go. How cool is that? You can see they actually have a mouth part in between their mandibles. You might be able to see it if she eats again. There you go. Right now I'll probably feed her some protein after as well. I'd like to show you this Camponotus species, or common name Carpenter Carpenter Ants. They've been doing really well. They've probably doubled in population just over the past couple weeks. See, they've only got one pupae at the moment, and a whole bunch of larvae. A bit harder to see against the white background, but hopefully you'll be able to make it out. So I'd like to just give a brief overview of this drawer here. This is my drawer of single queens that are still in the founding process. You can see this whole row here is just Camponotus. Let's say I have 1, 2, 3, maybe 4 or 5 species of Camponotus. So I think I've got Camponotus consubrinus, a couple unknown ones, a maroon-bodied one. Then I have Mellophorus here, or furnace ants. They're the ones you'll see out on really hot days. Then I got Anochetus down here. Then I have Fidole here, this little row here. A lot of multi-queen colonies, Fidole antipodum. I've showed her off before. Just here I have all my iridomyrmex. I think I have 4 iridomyrmex purpurus queens, aka meat ants. A couple smaller species. And then this last little row up here are just random queens. I think I've got a Anochetus, Chromatogaster, a Ponerine species, and that Colobopsis species that I just showed before. And if you guys have watched any of my other videos, you probably would have seen this colony. This is Fidole species, and they have been growing a lot. I would say they are well over 100 workers, and by my count there are 7 majors, and you can see the queen right in the middle there. They seem to have the major's pupae on the right hand side, and all the pupae and larvae for the regular workers are on the left hand side. Last off, I'd like to show you my newest addition to my collection. This is a Anochetus species, otherwise known as trapjaw ants or mini trapjaws. These guys are super tiny, let's say under a centimetre, definitely. This is a multi-queen colony. They've got a lot of queens. I've counted at least 5. There's definitely more than that. You can see the nest that they're in has a red glass, which is interesting. It's actually so that they feel, even when there's light, they won't freak out. We can see them acting more naturally when I'm filming them and stuff with all the bright light. I've already fed them a baby cockroach, and I'm pretty sure they have dragged it into the nest already. Overall, these guys are a pretty cool colony. Well, I hope you guys have enjoyed the video. If you have any questions or feedback, make sure to put it in the comments and I'll get back to you. If you're interested in following the growth of these colonies, consider subscribing. I'll keep you all updated. See ya!